It is another day. It is another assassination attempt. Wow. Welcome to In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's good to have you here, and a happy Monday to you. Hope you had a good weekend. It is, it's why? Here we go again, all over again. Another assassination attempt on the president of the United States. Thank goodness, former president, excuse me, President Trump. Good thing there no shots were fired at Donald Trump. That was pretty good. That's a pretty good thing. Good start. All right, going the right way. You were seeing the spin. I understand this. You're seeing exactly what you would think is going to be said about all of this. It's a nothing burger, essentially, to the mass media. If it's anybody's fault, it's Donald Trump's. But I want to get to a different way of looking at this, because it almost has a creepier vibe than the last assassination attempt on Donald Trump. And here's why I say, what's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? But there is, momentum moving towards something that is just absolutely unthinkable. I feel that the more desperate that side gets, and this guy is a flaming anti-Trump, flaming knucklehead. Obviously, you're a knucklehead if you think I'm going to lay in the bushes at Trump International and I'm going to wait there with an AR. Can I pause for a second there? Why does these people are in law enforcement and the intelligence community? They're peace officers. Peace officers. Why do they keep calling every long rifle an AK-47? The hell? I saw the pictures of this. I'm like, that is not an AK. This is a standard AR. What in the world, an AK-47? Is that really it? Just call it an Uzi. Call it a machine gun. Call it just they're crazy. Anyway, the more that one side that cackles a lot and gives word salads and looks loony, which we'll get to in a moment, the more the polls drop in key areas for that person in that party, the more desperate, obviously, that side is getting. And yes, I've seen it. Again, this is in other news. This isn't the stuff we're going to see on MSNBC and this stuff we're going to see on CNN. This is a different type of a take. Because I'm concerned as a Second Amendment advocate. There are two things that go through my mind when I hear active shooter in whatever mall or school. First thought is, there's zero casualties. Second is, I better go buy some ammo because everybody's going to make a run on this and they're going to try to take my guns away from me. I think those in order. And if that makes me a bad person, fine. But I know the reality of life in every country that has firearms, people get shot. Every country that has knives, people get stabbed. Every country that has blunt objects, people get knocked over the grape. So I understand that. But when we've had not one, but two now, assassination attempts on a former president of the United States, where is the same outrage from that side? I don't want there to be. I'm fine that they're not talking about, let's take everyone's firearms away, but why is it different? Why is it different? Because they're okay with someone taking a shot at Donald Trump. They're okay with it. It's been the attitude du jour for day after day, for du jour after du jour after du jour, right? For years. Okay, yeah, kill him. Take him out. Don't believe me? How about candidate Harris? How about this?
Stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Roaring applause from the trained seals in the audience. Okay, why? They can be dead, right? We can talk about our elected officials. We talk about our president, vice president, and the Secretary of State. I forget who else she mentioned there. We can talk about them being dead, right? And that's funny. We can cackle like that. How about this, bozo? This guy, by the way, is taking over for Adam Schiff in the order of things, in the roles that people play in DNC. In the Democrat Party, they had Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff would go on any newscast with his eyes wide open, like this beady-eyed, sweaty, clammy, idiot slappy that he is, and lie, say anything you asked him to. He was a good little doobie, and he most likely will be a senator in California. He just followed his marching orders to get to that spot. And he did it well. Now he's got to go run for Senate. Now Goldman is taken over as this Dan Goldman, I believe his name is, trust fund baby, shady as they come, inside trader. Listen to this.
It is just unquestionable at this point that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
I'm sorry. Say that again, sir. Did you just say he has to be eliminated?
And he has to be eliminated.
He has to be eliminated. So could you imagine a similar thing? We go back to this because again, we're looking at this from a different angle here. Could you imagine? And I know that guy, the first shooter was in a BlackRock commercial, and this guy was in some Ukrainian nonsense. The guy's obviously not mentally stable. The guy's a lunatic, thinking that he could bring his tent to Kyiv and sit there until people listen to him and they stop this war. I mean, he's a lunatic. He's a moron. So, and to think they go to Trump National and take a shot at the president, you're a lunatic. But that's the thing. So you have this rhetoric. Could you imagine on this side if I was like, man, this school system is absolutely terrible. School system's awful. National school system, man, it has to be eliminated. The participants in these drag shows for kids, they have to be eliminated. Could you imagine that? And then one of these drag queens gets capped or an attempt. I'd have the Secret Service on my, not Secret Service, I'd have the intelligence community, FBI, on my doorstep in minutes. But it's okay when it comes from the left. It's totally okay. That type of rhetoric is totally okay. And they get rewarded almost by their party. You see, Adam Schiff is example. Dan Goldman's going to be the next example. Kamala Harris is a wonderful example of this. With taking these stabs and moving on, taking a jab, moving on, taking a jab and moving on. They all sit in there saying every station, and that's why I started in other news, because every single station is saying the same crap. And they're not talking about this. They're not talking about what is different than somebody at a mall shooting and somebody taking a shot at the former president of the United States that has Secret Service protections. And shouldn't we be talking about how the hell this guy knew Trump was golfing when it wasn't on his schedule? Somebody needs to start talking about that. CNN did everything they could. CNN did everything they could to make sure that this was Trump's fault. Unfortunately, they invited the wrong guy on.
What does the fact that he wanted to survive say to you?
It says that he's not... First, he's not suicidal, apparently. He wasn't going to take his own life if he was almost being captured. Clearly, we saw that he was captured without that. And it tells me that he's probably much more politically motivated. The last shooter in Pennsylvania, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to promote him in any way.
Be honest, you forgot his name.
But he was clearly a guy that was looking for the notoriety.
By the way, me, after the brain surgeries and stuff, I've forgotten so many shooters' names and Slappy's names that I've used that same line. When I forget the name, I'm like, I just don't want to give him any credit. I'm not going to say that person's name on air. Oh, please. They do it every 10 minutes. Holy cow. Here we go. Sorry, I apologize. Back to this guy.
Of taking that shot. I would think we're going to find that this guy's extremely politically motivated.
Yep.
And that he probably was spurred on by much of the political diatribes that are going on these days, talking about Trump, equating him to Hitler.
Yes. There was the only guy on any of the channels that said that, except for Fox, obviously, and Newsmax. That the Alphabet's Lester Holt went to cover the assassination attempt, or the guy that was lurking in the bushes. I don't know if you call that an assassination attempt. The conspiracy to commit assassination. We'll call it an assassination. And he literally said, J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and their conspiratorial rhetoric adding to the fire today as we go to the scene. And dude, I mean, I go with Don Jr. on this one. I love me some Don Jr. Bucket list, by the way, if there's 6 degrees of separation, anybody knows Don Jr., I want to go hunting with Don Jr. Help me out. So Don Jr., said, it's tough now. This is the second time where I had to explain to my, holy cow, kid, settle down. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 children, why somebody wanted to kill grandpa. Yeah. But isn't that the same conversation we have? Why do I have to tell my children that there was a shooting in a school and the school's not safe? Well, you wouldn't want to tell your children that because school is quite literally, statistically, the safest place you can take your children. Well, tell that to the people at San Diego. Okay, but tell that to the other tens of millions of children who go to school every day, come home safe every day. Statistically, the safest place you can take the kids in that realm, not the whole screw thing. We can get to that. We can add another time. Here's the scary part of this, is that the closer we get, and it's funny, before this happened yesterday, my opening line for the show was going to be, hey, we're 50 days away from not seeing political ads anymore. Holy cow. That was good. But I mean, like, after this, it's just like, you know what? I just want to be, I want something to happen. I want this to be decided because I want people to stop trying to shoot former presidents. I do. I just, this is dumb. And I want an honest media, which I'll never get. But I want you to be warned by someone I hope that you trust, who you know doesn't BS you, that this is not going to be the last time. This is not going to stop. Period. The closer she gets to losing, the more this will be ramped up. The more the attacks are going to happen. This is going to be a rough and bumpy 50 days. It is going to be wild, like we've never seen in political history. I don't even know, is the Vance Walz debate still going on? Is that still going to happen? Let me look at this. Hey, let me look up VP debate here and see what happens here. VP debate 2024. Let's see what we got here. Okay, Tuesday, October 1st. Okay, Tuesday, October 1st. That's going to so we have 2 weeks until that's going to happen. Okay, so 2 weeks. There is, after that, when JD Vance quite literally mops the floor with Tim Walz, because Tim Walz is a schmuck. This kind of stuff. I'm not going to say there's an assassination attempt. I'm just going. Some bad things are going to happen because they're going to get closer and closer to losing the DNC. They're going to get closer and closer to losing. Yeah. And Rhonda, that's a good question. Yes, several, thank goodness. And I thought very well placed ads, by the way, during the debate. There was one commercial break during the debate. I think there was 3 Trump commercials, one Kamala commercial, and a commercial for the moderator. Go figure. Did you see the affidavit is actually out? I got to see it. And it was pretty interesting. The sworn affidavit and this guy has protected himself in every single way, shape, fashion, or form. He sent all of these sworn affidavits. He sent these out to himself. He sent it to Speaker Johnson. He sent it so everybody can confirm that this was not a response to post-debate nonsense. He's not even a Republican. But this employee of ABC has come out with the well, at least we've gotten a copy of it somehow, the sworn affidavit saying that the advance team for Kamala Harris was, the negotiation team for Kamala Harris demanded that she had a smaller podium, and she did. They demanded that she got not the questions, but sample questions. I'll go double air quotes. Sample questions handed to them prior to, so she knew it was coming on. A guarantee that they would live fact check Donald Trump, a guarantee that they would not live fact check Kamala Harris, a guarantee that they would not bring up her brother-in-law, who is under investigation for just billions in fraud. Can't bring that up. Can't bring up her knowing about Biden's failing health. And there was one thing, her time as DA in California. She had all of those assurances. An employee from ABC has sworn affidavit. A former Clinton advisor and employee is actually signed on to that as well, demanding. I don't know, demanding really means much in this world anymore, but bringing to light that there needs to be some sort of investigation into that, because that is election interference. That is quite literally cheating. And again, the closer we get to the election, the more shenanigans you are going to see. And we hope that it just doesn't come out in the form of more assassination attempts on the president of the United States. Dude was a mid-putt. He was in his backstroke and got tackled. It was pop, pop, pop. He got tackled. Oh. Rhonda, I know. I saw a commercial today. Was it today? Yes, I think it was today. I saw a commercial today or yesterday. I saw a commercial it was during the Sunday night game. It was during the Sunday night game that they had. It was like page 400 and something of Project 25, page 216 of Project 2025. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump, forget about attaching Donald Trump to Project 2025. Donald Trump never even signed a 455-page piece of legislation. What in the world? Yeah, Donald Trump came up with a 500-page document called Project 2025. What a bunch of knuckleheads. Yeah. They ain't cheating. They ain't breathing. That's for sure. Like I said, my dad voted Republican to the day he died. He's voted Democrat ever since. Mm-hmm. That's true. All right, let me see here. Let's see. Why is nobody talking about Biden's failing health and who's really running the country? I saw Kamala Harris over the weekend. Biden for like 2 minutes afterwards. But Kamala had a lot of time in front of the cameras behind a podium that had the presidential seal on the front of the president of the United States of America. If you think that is not intentional, you're not paying attention. That is very, very intentional. What is wild to me, and I'm going to share a little. I have news. I forgot to give you guys the news, and this is some pretty wild news. As you have known for several years, I have not been a fan of Ancestry.com, 23andMe, any of that. And then when BlackRock bought Ancestry, I was like, forget this noise. And then as I'm doing my research and I'm seeing what the actual government has on me, and I confirmed with Congressman Schweikert, he said quite literally everything. There's nothing the government does not have on you. Nothing. Zero that corporate America doesn't have on you. And again, I go back to Nielsen and the ratings. That company's biggest business are those shoppers cards, where they know everything you buy, when you buy it, what part of the shelf it was on, how much of it you bought. I mean, they have such stats on you, it's unreal. So I just said, whatever. Queen Bee bought me one, and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it. It was under protest, but I'm like, you know what? I'm done fighting City Hall. I got the results back. Y'all want to know what I am? I got the results back. All of my DNA thing and all the 50,000 waivers. Yeah, Chris, you're in the military, buddy. They got everything. I need, trust me. But all the 50 bazillion waivers I had to sign. We're using your DNA. We're selling your DNA. I know you're selling it. Fine. You probably cloned me. Great. Good. God. Well, watch this show a couple times. You'll stop the cloning program. But if you want to know what I am, Grizz hit it. Apparently, I'm a percentage African American. Sub-Saharan African. Absolutely unbelievable. Truman says African, Jewish, and European. I have for my entire life said that I was German, Scotch, Irish. That's what I've said I am. That's what I was told I was. And then I kind of got that little vibe from, Chief Spreading Bull from Pocahontas, Liz Warren. Hey, look, I'm a Native American. My dad said I had high cheekbones. I was like, crap, what if my family told me because I use the German Scotch Irish thing to basically explain away my drinking and my temper. Yeah. I was like, I'm German Scotch Irish. This is who I am. Nailed it. I am German Scotch Irish. That is what I am. Germany, Scotland, Ireland. That is what I am. Except for a tiny little sliver, African. And that was it. Oh, and another tiny little sliver, Italian. Hey, it's it. Italian and African. So technically, legally, I'm an African American. How stupid does that sound? How dumb I'm an Italian American. Do I look like an Italian American? No. I'm the whitest of white boys. And that's the thing that absolutely blows my mind when people identify as blank ex-American. Because I'm an American. If I want to, legally, I can say I'm an Italian American. Legally, I can say I'm an African American. I can say I'm a Irish American, German American. I just think all of that. What I saw when I launched that, I clicked on that link, I put in my password to see what the hell I was. I'm like, well, this is just silly. This is just, all of it is silly. I mean, there's benefits to it. And trust me, I have a half brother that I found out I had when I was 39, 38, 39, 40-ish. And I was thinking, okay, he basically found my mother gave him up for adoption. And so he wanted to find who his birth mother was because he had his first biological kid. And he wanted to know the family history on, medical stuff. And I'm like, well, careful what you wish for, champ. We got a whole boatload that you got to figure out. But so I was, I'm going to pay the extra whatever upgrade to find out, medical stuff and just to figure out, hey, what I should look out for and, that kind of stuff. But yeah, take care of myself. And so his buddy was born in South Africa, became an American. He's albino. He says he's African American to piss people off. And, then says, have you ever been to Africa? That's right, Grizz. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you ever been to Africa? You so mad at me? Yeah. But I'm technically an African American. Apparently, whatever gene pool that comes from something, I'm 4% of. There's only 4% of people like me. Interesting, right? But anyway, it was interesting, but it just points out this. Hey, look, I'm a Native American. Okay, well, I'm African American. Take that. Here's my proof. Here's my DNA test. Elon is an African American. That's a great point, Rhonda. Yeah, I always like it that the PGA was called Tiger Woods. Oh, the first black pro golfer. VJ Singh is like, excuse me, I'm black and I'm like, to quote Chris Rock, I'm black and I'm black and I'm black, y'all. He's as black as this shirt, but he's from Fiji. He's Fijian. He's not African American, but Tiger was the first black. It's like, dude, I've been winning tournaments for a hot minute. Yeah. People, it's just dumb. Identity politics is stupid. 23andMe proves that identity politics is stupid. I mean, I show up wearing a Kenta scarf, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I'm African American. I'm going back to my African roots. How dumb is that? That's stupid. I'm gonna go cook some Italian food tonight. I'm gonna fly the Italian flag because I'm 1.5% Italian. I'm an Italian American. I'm not. Just an American. That's it. Okay. Now, Grizz, I'm throwing this out there. So Grizz has a question. 2 things I have with cornrows. 2 things. Here we go. First was, I think it was Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson was the first, kind of did the whole cornrow thing. And it was, then I think Rasheed Wallace came out with them. And there's several other basketball players came out with with these cornrows and playing in the NBA. And I remember they asked, it was NBC, pregame, whatever. They asked the whitest man in history of all sports, Larry Bird, what he thought about people in these cornrows. And they thought damn sure the dude from French Lick, Indiana, is going to go, oh, it's awful what they're doing. I mean, they were trying to corner him. Didn't even bat an eyelash. He goes, I think they're great. I think they're cool. He said, if I could have them, I'd have them. I'd definitely have them. Now, getting to your point here, Grizz. Cornrows aren't black by any stretch of the imagination. They aren't. Not one bit. It's Nordic. Vikings did that crap for centuries. It's probably one of the whitest hairdos you could possibly have. But everyone, forget about all that stuff. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. No, can't have that. Can't have people talking common sense here. Yeah. They're Vikings, right. But that's the thing that not a lot of people even think about it. They're like, oh, that's a black thing. It's cultural appropriation. My ass. Cultural appropriation. I hate this cultural appropriation thing. Here's the deal. If you're a United States citizen, anything you like and want to do that's legal and constitutional, that's yours. Doesn't belong to anybody else. It does not belong to anyone else. If I want to wear a bandana, if I want to wear my pants down below my butt, that's not cultural appropriation. I'm an American. I can do what I want. How about that? How about them apples? Gatekeeping. Oh, it's gatekeeping hairstyles. Exactly. It's hairstyle. I'm just happy to have hair. Believe it, I wear a hat all the time. But believe it or not, I have hair. I really do. My mom was very excited to see that my hair was cut. I cut my hair twice a year. That's it. And I cut my own hair. So you can tell I cut my own hair. But it's not that bad. But the thing with that, my mom was excited. So it brings me to my next thing. When in the world is there an age? Because I've sensed this now. And I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching, I really am, because I'm going to throw you on blast here. I got a call from my mom this weekend. And she said, honey, I need you to come over to your sister's house. I'm at your sister's and I'm watching the dogs. I'm like, okay, all right. Whoa. Oh, a pair of lug shoes. Okay, go with that. Oh, the sagging pants. Okay, I thought you were talking. I thought Truman said I need hair plugs, but he said a nice pair of lugs. So I'm not wearing my glasses, buddy. Hair plugs. I don't need hair plug. I got plenty of hair. Just a little. This is a little thin, especially right here with this big old scar from the right. That's not that. That's not that. Everybody put hair plugs on that thing. Yeah, maybe that'll work. So if anybody doesn't think that I had brain surgery, there you go, right there. That's the ABCs of me right there. That's that big old scar right there. So anyway, I get this call from my mom. I said, honey, can you come over to your sister's house? I said, okay, I got the new pup with me. So you put your crazy giant dogs away. It'd be awesome. She goes, well, I don't know if I can. I need you to come over. Why? I want you to see if I need to go to the hospital or not. What age do we become our parents' parent? And older cats have your kids become your parent. So I hesitate. I'm going to throw my mom on blast. It's okay. She's got to know. Her son's in the media. It's going to happen. 50 is the age. I don't know about that. Because my kids better not become my parent. I'd pop them one. I'll be 50 next year. There's no way in the world. Hey, 50. Well, when you become at 50, you become your parent's parent. I think that's what you're saying, Chris. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Because she decided to be a super nice mom that she is. She's amazing. And she was cleaning off while she was watching my sister's house. She was cleaning off the front porch and, washing things out. She decided to get the hose and hose down the front door. My sister has an electric key lock. So when the water hit the electric key lock, it didn't short it. It just locks itself. It just goes on lockdown. So my mom's locked out of the house. So remember, she didn't call me for a key, which I have. She didn't call intern Sarah, that has a key. She didn't call intern Sarah's husband, who has a key. Mom, at 74 years old, decided, I can get over that wall. The back door's open. Long story endless. Mom actually makes it over the wall with a strategic use of trash cans. And when she's telling the story, she goes, I saw those trash cans like a ninja. Mom gets over the wall, falls, shocker, falls and jacks up her ankle on one foot, and her foot, it looks like somebody took a sledgehammer to it. And she wants to know if and the dog's coming, all attacking her, licking her and stuff like that. I thought she was coming up swinging like Tyson. But yeah, so she wanted to know wanted me to come over to see if she could, yeah, exactly, Rhonda. What in the world were you thinking? So, my sister comes home. I go over there. We started having, I went over there earlier and she was fine. She could walk on it, but she was, her feet are way jacked up. And so Ninja Mom, Ninja Mom. She's her feet are pretty jacked up. She had a boot. She had a boot from foot surgery, so it was now just negated all the foot surgery. But she had a boot, so she put that on. She couldn't drive home. I drove her home. But when we went there, we were just laughing at the thing, and I just kept asking her, Mom. She goes, well, I texted Lori and I asked her if my sister. I texted Lori and I asked her for her code so I could put it back in the code on the door. I said, well, okay, I get that. I said, Mom, why didn't you call me? She goes, my phone was inside the house. I said, well, how did you ask Lori for the code? She said, I text from my Apple Watch. I said, why didn't you text me? She goes, I didn't think of that. And then she said, sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget that I'm 74 years old. And I get it. I totally get that. But then we start parenting our parents like Grissa is kind of around 50 years old. I forget I'm almost 50. Queen Bee won't let me forget it, but she's younger than me, but I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be 50. That's right. Oh, hell yeah, buddy. What up, Jose? Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. I'm not gonna sing a song, dude. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jose. Happy birthday to you. There you go. See, I got you, but yeah. Sometimes I forget I'm 33. You know something? Yes. No. The reason why you forget, Rhonda, that you're 53 is that you don't look a day over 33. It's easy to forget. Yeah. But we become our parents' parent. It's like, I want you to come over. And it's not like, can you program the VCR? That's my mom's voice, and she never sounds like that. Just so you know, I have voices for people. That's not how my mom sounds. Can you come over and look at my foot? I need to go. I might need to go to the doctor. I might need to go see the emergency room. West Valley peeps, we got a badass new emergency room out here on the west side. It's one of the coolest places ever. Those things with old people to do this fall. Yeah, I know that, Greg. I know. Okay, how about this? But yes, old people fall. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible because like there's that second or third time where the whole fam bam goes. I don't think the fourth one is going to be. It's going to be done, right? It's like to doctors, hospice, all that. I mean, what falls are like a signal of it's time. For my kids, they know what to do. They need to load me up with ammunition and enough survival equipment and just send me off to the woods. What happens, happens. All right. Anyway, but Greg, fall is fine. Fall, I slipped going into the kitchen. Fine. Using trash cans strategically like a ninja, she says, at 74 years old, to get over the wall when she could just easily go. I live a mile and a half from my sister. A mile and a half. Me and Ozzy, little puppy, we're chilling on the couch watching football. Honey, I need your key. Honey, do you have a key to your sister's house? Yeah, Mom, I'll be over there in a few minutes. Like a ninja. So fall is something I can understand. This, you're on your own. Deal with it, Mom. You brought this on yourself. That's what you would have taught me. Holy cow. And get to a little bit of parenting in a moment here as well, but there was a reason why you are seeing the media going back to this assassination attempt. There's a reason why you're seeing the media act the way they do and blame Donald Trump in this and to Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad, Trump bad. Because they cannot get away from, quite literally cannot get away from what horrible candidates Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are. That's exactly what I told her, Rhonda. Rub some dirt on it. Walk it off. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. She was already walking and she was like, I'm on my second glass of wine. I'm good. A little self-medicating at the Russell family. This is what we do. Back. So they're terrible candidates. I was having brunch yesterday with the liberal wing of my tribe, and very liberal wing of my tribe. I'll stay away from the jokes that I was throwing out, but I looked at my friend and I said, hey, listen, I know you're voting for Kamala. Kamala's sinking in polls. He said, is she really? I said, yeah. In key polls too. Like I don't know electorally if there's a way out for her because she's just a horrible candidate, And Tim Walz is worse. Tim Walz's wife, stop it. It's so bad. Yeah. Let me give you an example.
My approach is about new ideas, new policies that are directed at the current moment.
Okay.
And also, to be very honest with you,
I hope so.
My focus is very much in what we need to do over the next 10, 20 years to catch up to the 21st century around, again, capacity, but also challenges.
Hey, look at his face. He's like, that might be the dumbest thing I have ever heard someone say. He started off the interview with, what are you going to do to lower prices? And she started with the same old crap. I come from a middle-class upbringing. Not telling you what I'm going to do. Just telling you that I come from the middle class. I'm one of you. And so we're not fooled by this as we move on. The reason why middle class is used by both parties, is because I don't know if I've run into anyone side of a dozen people in my life that wouldn't identify as middle class. They say, oh yeah, that guy makes, $300,000 a year. He'll identify as middle class. That person over there makes $70,000 a year. Would identify as middle class. Middle class is the people that identify as the middle class or think middle class is where they basically their lot in life. That's the vast majority of the country. That's why they use them. I'm focused on the middle class. We're going to build it up and middle and out and down and around and back around and circle back again. How are your lower prices? Yeah, same interview. She's like, people like mowing their lawn and stuff. She brought up lawn mowers. Oh, proud of their lawns. ABC's and me, folks. I will mow the lawn. I will stare at that damn thing like I'm king of it, like I'm Hank Hill. I will stare at it. I'm like, look at what I have done. Took me 20 minutes, but look what I have accomplished this weekend. I have mowed the lawn. It looks so uniform and so beautiful. It's green-ish. I love it when I oversee in the winter and the little sprouts pop up. I'm like, I have created life. Yeah. You can choose. You can be anyone you want. Anyone you want her to be, she will be. Oh man, let's see what Greg. Greg, what's up, Greg? Just can't wait for Elon to audit and dismantle. Could you please? And by the way, that's that honesty and that not even foreshadowing, that calling of the shot, that transparency is what hurts them and what eggs more things on, like, oh, this guy randomly knew that Donald Trump was golfing today when it wasn't on his public schedule, and he knew exactly when he'd be rolling around hole number 5. Adds to it. It adds to it. They do not want this dismantled. The only reason why these people who used to just lick Donald Trump's boots and they hate him because he is that stick you throw in the middle of the antline. Screwed everything up. Exposed their system. Oh, yeah, she's got an accent for every darn thing you want to have for. Just when I would like to talk like this, I'm talking to this guy who is a this guy right here. Yeah, come on. Nope. Yeah.
My approach is about.
Yeah, I'm talking to this guy right here. My approach is about this. When I talk to this guy, it's okay, let's go. If you don't believe it, okay, everybody knows Kamala Harris, probably the most unintelligent people to run for president in history. Then they add this guy.
I want my gas and my groceries to be cheaper. What is your administration's plan to be more specific a little bit?
Dude, okay, hey, ass. Okay, let her finish. Yeah. No, don't be a who you are.
But on lowering the cost of living and lowering prices.
Producing more oil than we ever have in this country. We are producing more than any other country. We're expanding those options for it, whether it's wind, it's solar, and things, getting at this heart of climate change, but at the same time, creating jobs.
Oh. So we're going to lower costs by combating climate change. Okay.
For Americans, and gas prices will continue to come down. And I think what I keep saying about this, though, on food prices that we've seen, look, I know this from farm country. Farmers are only getting about $3.90 bushel for corn.
Don't act like no. Stop.
$10 for soybeans. Somebody in the middle's taking more than they should on this.
More than fair
37
share.
states have laws against that. She's talking about making that the case, expanding it. The one thing, though, that she's talking about, and we're seeing happen, and the numbers came out this week, is real wages are finally rising. And one of the reasons is she's making it easier to form a union.
Oh, son of a biscuit. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. So your plan there, Tampon Timmy, is to lower prices. My prices, by the way, was $100 in groceries in 2020. Now cost $198. Doubled my grocery bill. Your plan to get that back down to $100 is to invest in wind and solar, which you think will bring the price of gas down. No, it won't. And then to unionize? My uncle, my great uncle, my grandfather's brother. And if everybody out here from Arizona back in the day, you probably ran into W.A. Neely at one point. That was my grandfather. They know him as Dick Neely, W.A. Neely. That's actually a funny story, too. His brother was the head of the tile setters union. I have union in my family. Okay, union in my blood. Unions had their time. By the way, they hated each other because my grandfather had a tile company and his brother was the head of the tile setters union. Can you imagine that Thanksgiving? Oh, I didn't even think they're at the same table. But they had their time, y'all. Now when a union like, I don't know, UPS, which, let's see, laid off thousands of workers, thousands of employees they laid off at UPS because the union threatened to strike, and now all the drivers are making over $100,000 because of the union. So prices for UPS went up. Thousands of UPS people lost their job because of union. So this bozo, this slappy's idea to lower prices. Oh, Kamala's going to do that. A federal law against price gouging. Going to invest in climate change and unionize. This guy skipped every economics class you could possibly take. He would fail right now. Tim Walz would fail high school senior economics if they still teach that. How do they spew this, Truman? How do they spew this straight face? No, yep. Yeah. I'm going to tell you how they do that. Truman basically asked how they can do this, how they can lie like this constantly. Grizz said because the people eat it up. I get it. But I need you to look into the Smith-Mundt Act. I'm going to keep bringing this up, y'all. This is criminal. President Truman signed the Smith-Mundt Act, which said you cannot lie. You cannot propagandize the citizens. Cannot do that. You can't. We're sending propaganda around the world. We cannot do that on We the People. Congress said back when Congress did stuff, said, yeah, it's a good idea. Great idea. We're not going to do that. Barack Hussein Obama overturned that. Yep. Basically made it legal for them to lie, and get away with it. But I want to show a pattern here because, of course, okay, Kamala Harris can't do an interview. Tim Walz is a bloody lunatic. That's why they're hiding him. But here's the pattern. Remember when Hillary Clinton would be on stage making those crazy faces, and she all limp going into the van and this and that? I mean, there's a pattern. Did you see Tim Walz's wife? Did you see this? I got to show this to y'all because it's just, this is just, you ain't going to see it anywhere else. So check this out. This is nuts. Watch this woman's face. Listen to how both Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and Mrs. Walz talk down to you like you are an idiot, like you are a special needs person. Listen to this. Turn the page. You got it, Ronnie. Here we go.
I kind of liked it when she did this. Turn the page. You like that? Okay, so I need you to be with me and practice with me. What are we going to do? We're going to turn the page. Oh, pretty good. Do it again. We're going to turn the page. And we're going to turn the page.
I'll like train seals in the back.
All right, so I'm going to be watching you because when I see Wisconsin, and I'm one watching nationally on TV because this is a pretty important place.
And I'm the one that's watching nationally on TV, not you, you plebes, not you least of these, you morons, you poor people.
Minnesota help you practice with this. You just show me this. Turn the page, right? Turn the page. And you know what else that looks like? Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Donald Trump.
These people are lunatics, man.
We are turning the page.
These people are absolute lunatics. Did you see JD's wife doing this? JD's wife would be...
52 days and we are turning the page. 52 days and it is bye-bye, Donald Trump.
Okay. Dude, raving lunatics. Remember Howard Dean? I'm going to go to it's the end of his career. Now it's almost it's encouraged by the left. They act like a lunatic and they will follow you. Oh, man. Like she's speaking of 5-year-olds. Exactly, Ron. But JD Vance still getting eaten up, so to speak, as if he was a pet in Springfield. I kid. I don't. The media is just doing everything they can to run interference on this, and now guess what we get? Because it's really happening, y'all. It really is happening. And I will say this. So Greg brings up that the media is responsible. All parties spin their narratives. I get that. Absolutely. And the media is responsible for this. But I'm going to show you something. So when the media is responsible, eat the cat, eat the cat. And Frank, I'm telling you, that's very Hillary-ish. Oof. Those eyes of hers all bulging out. But it's not just politicians. It's law enforcement. Listen to this. Springfield. Now, what do you do? What do? Everybody, all eyes are on Springfield, and they're pointing out that we are absolutely being destroyed by these Haitian migrants, and that I think there was an 800% increase in Medicare or Medicaid, which is the one for not seniors, whichever that you know what I'm saying. In Springfield, since they're on the public dime, They're making dough and they're causing all these problems, right? So we pointed out. What do? When you say it's not happening, your governor says it's not happening, your mayor says it's not happening, your city manager says it's not happening, no evidence, no evidence, no evidence, no evidence. And the beautiful internet brings you evidence, 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 evidence. What do? Bomb threats. Yeah, bomb threats. Bring in the bomb threats. We have a ton of bomb threats, guys. Bomb threats in Springfield. Bomb, 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 bomb. Bomb, 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 bomb. All Springfield. Schools, warehouses, public buildings, all of this stuff. Bomb threats. Let me tell you something that I want you to tell all you peeps. Let me tell you something. Bombers don't call in bomb threats. Can we really let that sink in? Bombers bomb. Bombers do not call in threats. So it could be a ton of bomb threats. How about this, though? Even the local news in Springfield is like, okay, these bomb threats. You guys come on, you're insulting us.
Of an afternoon news conference, the Springfield police chief, Allison Elliott, flat out said she wouldn't be taking any questions. Instead, she read from a prepared statement, which contained, really no new information, just what we had learned hours earlier. Several agencies got that bomb threat by email at 8:24 this morning. City Hall was evacuated and closed the rest of the day, as were several other buildings in the area. Well, reporters had plenty of questions for the police chief, but the chief again said she wouldn't be taking any questions. And that's when reporters loudly complained about a lack of transparency.
I encourage the public, if you see something, please say something. Thank you.
If you see something,
Chief, these arrests today along Chapin Avenue related to either each other or the larger attention.
No, they didn't happen.
Again, we are not taking questions at this time.
Because they didn't happen.
Karen Graves, Ms. Karen Graves from the city here with us.
Good afternoon.
Here comes the level 5 boss, Karen. She's here. I'm going to bring we bring her. She's our level 5 boss. Here's Karen right here.
I just want to let you know that if you have any further questions after this, you can email me.
Yeah, go ahead and email me. Just go ahead and email me.
Again, no questions answered.
None.
Elliott said all the buildings were checked.
Because it did not happen. This is theater. If there was a credible bomb threat, that woman would be answering questions, especially if there's a rash of bomb threats. Is there any tie? We have not seen any ties. We have a tie, maybe a connection between one or two of these. That's it. Nope. You know why? It didn't happen. Oh, it just absolutely drives me nuts. Absolutely drives me nuts. We have something cool, a little decompression session, but tomorrow, by the way, there's a story about a set of parents that paid an actor to lure their child into a van. And they were in the back of the van with ski masks to scare the kids straight. We're going to get to that tomorrow. And there's a reason why we're going to get to it tomorrow, because I think I have something. Our decompression session today is chef's kiss. Okay. But before we get to that, I don't know if you saw this. This was unbelievable. The stuff is coming out. You have to understand 3 terabytes of evidence was deleted by Adam Schiff and Kinzinger and all these slappies on the Jan 6 committee. It wasn't a commission. Remember that, guys. It was not an official commission. It was a committee. That's it. They acted like a commission. They had their 9 seats up there like they're the damn Supreme Court. It was absurd. And it was produced by what? A producer from what channel? ABC produced the Jan 6, the primetime hearings. 3 terabytes of evidence deleted. They didn't delete this. I want you to hear this.
I'm going to punch him out. This is why I'm waiting for this. For trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I'm going to punch him out, and I'm going to go to jail, and I'm going to be happy.
I've been waiting for this.
She literally said, I have been waiting for this. Trespassing on the Capitol grounds. I have been waiting for this.
Trespassing on Capitol grounds. Let me play it again. She says that.
Nobody comes, I'm going to punch him out. This is why I would pay to see that. I'm waiting for this. For trespassing.
The trespassing.
Been waiting for
the name of the crime. She calls.
Then she admits, later on, yeah, I was, it's on me. I said no to National Guard. It's on me. I believe in coincidences. I've just never seen one. Yeah. No coincidence that it became what it became under Nancy Pelosi's rule. Please, can we protect Congressman Massey at all costs? He's a national treasure. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to introduce you to him right now. He is one of the most common sense, damn near libertarian, or as Greg would like to say, a Republican, that I've ever seen. I thought this guy was just full of crap because he's speaking like an adult in Washington, D.C. So I asked Congressman Schweikert, and David said, yeah, dude, he's the real deal. And Rob and I got to meet him when we were up there, and it's yeah. Okay, let's hold on before he brings us our decompression session. What did you say, Daniel? What happened? Went to a pond in Chandler, and some guy just was capturing ducks in the pond. Yeah. He just laughed at me. Damn. You got to get a video of that, dude. You got to find a video of that. At least the guy walking away with a duck in his hand. Look, I'm telling you guys, the next 50 days is going to be the weirdest. I would say the next 3 months are going to be the weirdest this nation has ever seen. Not ever seen, but in recent history. Let's put it that way. Anyway, Congressman Massey, I want to introduce you to him because this is him. As Truman says he's pretty good. Truman's coming along with me on that. So let me find my Massey clip here, and I think this is it.
And I would call in Mr. Massey.
Mr. Massey, I'm calling in Mr. Massey. I refuse to be a thespian by Mr. Massey. Please, sir, go.
Can we be honest with the American people about what's going on here? This is political theater. I'm going to call out both sides right here.
Oh.
It's all posturing. It's fake fighting. We all know where it ends up. This is Groundhog Day. I don't care if the Democrat is the speaker or Republican is the speaker. Mm-hmm. We always get a CR in September, and then we get an omnibus. Sometimes there's a twist on that. We might get the omnibus before Christmas, but if we're not good, it comes after Christmas. But that's what's going to happen. And in the meantime, it's political theater. We've got it's good theater. We've got great writers. I wish they'd just come up with a new plot. It's the same plot every fiscal year. What should we be doing? It's already been discussed. We should have done 12 separate bills. But again, whether Democrats are in control or Republicans are in control, we never do the 12 separate bills. Why do we always spend at least as much as we did last year, and why do we never cut spending? It's because Democrats want to grow the welfare state, and Republicans want to grow the military-industrial complex.
Preach, brother.
We're eventually going to get together, and they're both going to go up. I guarantee it.
I get it, kid.
And both parties are just fine letting the bureaucrats do their thing, which should be our thing, according to Article 1. Section 8 in the Constitution. We are empowered with these things. Most important of the things we do is the funding, and that's the big lever we have. I've sat through now almost 2 years of hearings in this Congress where we've exposed lies at the CDC, shortcuts at the FDA, unconstitutional gun bans at the ATF, over-prosecution of January 6ers at the DOJ, targeting common citizens at the FBI, spying by the NSA, illegal mandates for livestock by the USDA, targeting plant vaccine or transgenic plant vaccine at the NSF, and censorship, the censorship industrial complex of which the NSF is part of, automobile kill switch at the DOT. Now, these are all things I think most Democrats are just fine with, this kind of totalitarian state that the bureaucrats are pushing on us. But Republicans at least pretend to be against these things. But what are we going to do this September? We're going to fund every freaking one of those things that we have exposed. That is the tool that we have, is the funding. Why are we funding things we don't like? We don't have to. Well, it's because we're addicted to spending. And this doesn't do anything about the addiction at all. So let me touch on one point too here that I think is important. Is, a couple years ago, or a summer and a half ago, I suppose now, we did something where we allowed the debt limit to be increased. But as a condition of that, we said if you do a CR that lasts past April 30th, everything's going to get cut 1%.
Yes.
And that, to me, seemed like at least a little tinge of fiscal responsibility was creeping in. But now I notice that this CR, instead of going 1 year and giving us time to do the 12 appropriations bills, is going to go 6 months. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen because this goes 6 months. Number one, it ends in March 28th, on March 28th. Well, the automatic cuts happen on April 30th if the CR went past that. So that is exactly why the Speaker chose a 6-month CR, is so we don't have even the chance, a threat to this town, it's a threat of a 1% cut. We don't want to even, this is like T-ball. The 1% cut is on the tee, and Republicans won't even swing at it.
There you go. If anyone, what do we need in Washington? How do we turn things around? How do we do it? How do we do it? It's exactly how we do it. People like Representative Massey. We elect those people. We put the Masseys in power. Holy, the Schweikerts in power aren't going to deal with this nonsense anymore. Yes, tomorrow we are going to do it. We're going to talk about the couple that paid an actor to kidnap their kid to scare her straight. It's going to be interesting. We'll get into that and why that's actually needed these days. Thanks for hanging out. This is In Other News. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for playing. Share it out, like it, do everything that you do. Help us grow it, and we're going to make it happen. And by the way, what do you think of that right there? What do you think of that logo? Boom! It's ready to go. All right. See y'all tomorrow at